Listen to the Carolina Storyteller Podcast, a campfire-style storytelling podcast focusing on ghost stories, legends, and true crime. Available now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
He's looking at you, kid.
Say hello to my little friend!
Hi, this is Joe, and this is the Filmjoe podcast, where film talk happens.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, I'm Joe, your host, and welcome to the Filmjoe podcast. I'm here with Daisy.
Hello.
And welcome to the podcast where we talk about films, filmmakers, trends, the good, the bad, and the not so bad, all in the spirit and for the love of film. So this week, we will be covering films in franchises. So what we're going to do, we're going to choose the worst one within a franchise, not counting the first, and the best one of another franchise, again, not the first. That one shouldn't count. It should be one of the sequels within this saga. So now we usually give our rating system early on. So what we're going to do is, because there's two different types of films, and so I will give, right before we're about to rate it, what the rating system is going to be for that film.
All right.
Sounds good?
Sounds good. Approve.
Approved. All right. Stamp of approval. So before we continue, let's go ahead and dive into some flicks of interest, movies that are coming up that you may not have heard about. So here's the first one. This one I'm kind of excited for because this is kind of a childhood favorite. It's a movie called Salem's Lot.
Oh, yes. I remember seeing bits and pieces of the original. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a remake.
Yeah. I think I saw the original, must have been about 6-7 years ago. And it was pretty bad, with the exception of one sequence, which everybody seems to remember. Which is the window thing where the little boy comes back from the dead.
Ooh, man, that is the creep. Imagine it's dark outside, the wind is howling. You open up the window, and there's a freaking face staring at you.
Yeah, and he's scratching at the window. Let me in. It was great, that one sequence. But it really wasn't that, it didn't hold up as well.
It was slow.
But now there's one that is ripe for a remake. Now, the problem with this one is that HBO, or actually Warner Brothers, is doing it. And they've had a recent shakeup where they've gotten rid of certain movies that they've already made, like Batgirl and what was it? Coyote versus Acme.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah, which I've heard was really good. A lot of insiders have posted that they got to see it. It was really good. And so Salem's Lot was one of them that was going to get pretty much canned.
Oh,
and
no.
So what they decided was they're going to release it on HBO Max.
Oh, hell yeah. That works for me.
Yeah, so they haven't given a release date yet. There's no trailer yet, but it's definitely going to come out, and I can't wait to see what they do with the remake.
Any notables in this remake?
So far, nothing has been released other than the title and the fact that it's coming out.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, that one's going to be really good. Now, another one that I just recently saw the trailer for, and if you haven't seen the trailer, check it out.
Okay.
It's a movie called The Wild Robot.
The Wild. Oh, yes, I did see the scenes for that.
Okay.
It was by not
I think
Disney.
it's DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. Yes, yeah, I did see the previews for that.
Wow. The trailer alone makes you want to cry.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and it's basically about a robot who crash lands on an uninhabited island, and he bonds with the little creatures on the island, and he basically adopts a little baby goose.
They're so cute.
And it looks beautiful. Really, really good. Pedro Pascal is going to be one of the voices in that.
Oh,
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the kind of shit that Disney no longer does.
I mean, they did come out with something similar, which was Wall-E, which I thought was a really cute movie. But like you said, they don't come out with movies like that anymore.
No, not at all. And it just looks really, really, really sweet. So I can't wait.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. And the final film that I am looking forward to this year, and this is coming out. There's no trailer yet, and I believe it's coming out December 13th.
Okay.
The Karate Kid.
Oh yes. I heard rumors that not only all the cast from the show is going to be there, but also Jackie Chan.
Yes,
Oh.
Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and all the rest. They're all going to be in this, and pretty much because there was the remake with Jaden Smith.
Yeah,
And Jackie.
it was
Yeah,
cringy, but
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and just kind of like didn't make sense. But apparently, they're within the same universe of
Yeah.
films.
Because Jackie Chan didn't play Mr. Miyagi. He played a totally different character, the same type of character.
Yeah, Mr. Chan or some shit like
Yeah,
that. I don't know.
exactly. Mhm.
And so, yeah, I'm excited for that one. So there's a few good films coming out this year that can't wait to see. I think Karate Kid is going to do really, really well.
The show was phenomenal. I don't know if
Oh,
are you caught up?
oh yeah, I'm waiting for the final season.
My God, I just got goosebumps. I freaking love that show.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it is it's a nostalgia show. People say, oh, it's all about the nostalgia kick. In this case, that's what it's all about.
It is. I wanted to be a Karate Kid.
Yeah, and they brought back almost everybody from the original 3 films.
Yes.
So I'm totally stoked for that. So
Yeah, same.
all right, yeah. So what do you say we talk wizards and flying cars?
Let's do it.
All right. So it's time to revisit some of these franchises. And so with these franchises, we're going to do the best and the worst. So we're going to start with the best within the franchise.
Okay. All right.
So this first one, an apprentice wizard comes to know his past and his destiny.
This year, Hogwarts will play host to a legendary event. The Triwizard Tournament.
As from this moment, the tournament has begun. If chosen, the student must survive 3 dangerous tasks. Only one will go down in history. Only one wins eternal glory.
Harry Potter finds himself competing in a hazardous tournament between rival schools of magic, but he is distracted by reoccurring nightmares. The film we're talking about is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire from 2005, directed by Mark Newell, and it stars Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint. This one was fantastic. I've seen all the Harry Potter films, so this was kind of hard to choose.
It really, yes, I know what you. Yeah, it was hard to pick. Which one was the best, and if I could pick all of them, I would.
Yeah, they're all really, really good films. But I think we picked this one because it's an important film within the saga, within the series, because it serves as the beginning of the
Yes.
of the last act of the middle of the second act into the final act.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what were your takes? Well,
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. No, yeah. Well, I mean, it was, when we started off with the series, there were little kids, it was cute. He's fascinated with the world of magic. He's a survivor of a very tragic battle that took the lives of his mom and dad, left him alive. But now, he's gone, and now he's learning how to be a wizard. This movie right here, it, like you said, is the beginning. This is where Voldemort is now back, like officially back.
Right, exactly, and it sets the stage for the finale, which is the final 3 films after this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fantastic. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was fun. It had a great story,
Yeah.
and yeah, it has a teeny bopper drama angle to it, but it's not annoying.
Well, and I kind of see it as a coming of age. They're no longer children anymore; they're growing up.
Yeah,
And this is the first time that we actually kind of see a glimpse of the true feelings between Hermione and Ron.
well, this is where they, especially, or Harry especially, but
Mhm.
they grow up in this, and they're kind of thrusts into this next stage in their lives. Teetering into young adulthood.
Exactly.
And I mean, it was just fantastically done. I mean, the only film within the series that I did have a problem with was the Deathly Hollows.
Yes. And I was gonna pick the Deathly Hollows because that's the one that's broken up into two parts.
Yes.
And I think that's something that everybody goes for. Oh, the second part is the best. The second part is the best. But yeah, this movie, The Goblet of Fire, is where it actually begins. The battle
Right.
begins.
Yeah, exactly. Because the first three films serve as an introduction, world building, character development,
Yes.
adventures, and it's very, it's cute and it's fun. But shit starts to go real in this one.
Yeah.
But the problem I had with the Deathly Hollows was that one book was split into two films. So what they did was they kind of stretched a lot of the book
Yeah.
in the first one.
They
And
did.
I mean, it wasn't a bad film, but it was frankly, it was kind of boring.
It was boring, and I mean, it was very dismal. It was very kind of depressing. There was a lot of, I don't know if you noticed that, they incorporated a lot of gray tones in the movie. And I mean, it is symbolic that, times are bad. Times are really bad. They're on the run. But yeah, it did draw on for just a little bit too long.
And so, I mean, I actually almost fell asleep. And at that point, I actually almost walked out of the theater, which is rare because I don't
Wow.
like walking out. Yeah, not that it was bad, but I'm like, oh, this is ass. I mean,
No,
this is
it wasn't
boring.
bad, and it wasn't bad at all. It was heartbreaking actually the way it ended. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah. And so, but the second part of that was exhilarating. Was
Oh my
beautiful.
god. Yes, it
It
was badass.
it was great. And I think it rivals this one, the Goblet of Fire, for best in the series. But again, like we said earlier, it's just kind of difficult because overall the entire series is really beautifully done.
It really is. I read all of the books, and I'm a huge fan. I read all of the books, and granted there was things that were omitted from the book. It had, if you were to go, page for page in a movie, it would just, be ridiculous. But I think they did well. I think they did great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing that I've noticed, that it's rare when a film is able to encapsulate an entire, say, 400-page novel into
Mhm.
2 hours, and if they're able to do it effectively, I mean, that's quite a feat. Look at Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I have a copy of that on my shelf, of the first one, and that
Mhm.
thing is about the size of the Bible.
I read the first book, and yeah, and there is a lot that they took out from that.
Right. But they incorporated what was important and
The most
and
essential.
the most essential. So it is very difficult to adapt, novels to films in that sense. I mean, that's why I think, you got these Amazon series, like what was
Or
this
the
one
Golden
called?
Compass.
The Golden Compass, or The Terminal List, which is also based on a series of novels, or
Mhm.
Reacher. Reacher is another great one. And what they do is one season is dedicated, it's one novel.
Yeah.
So it's an 8-hour movie, basically. And you're able to develop your characters and storyline a lot better.
Which
But
I heard that they are trying to adapt Harry Potter into a series.
they need to stop that shit. They need to cut that shit. I mean, the movies were great. They're iconic. There is
Yeah.
only one Harry Potter. We
Yep.
saw him grow up.
We saw all of them grow up. I love that.
And they change shit around, and I don't know. I just don't want to. If they do it, yeah, I hope they do it right.
Mhm.
But even then, I mean, leave it alone. It's 8 movies. Ain't you got enough of these fucking things? It's enough.
I can never get enough of Harry Potter though.
Yeah, well, we watch the movies,
You know what I do? I do every year. I have a marathon where I watch all of them. Oh, love those movies.
Yeah, well, actually, to be honest, I've seen all 8 films once.
Oh,
And so this one that we just watched, this is my second viewing. And it
wow.
definitely, yeah. So definitely inspired me to, you know what? I want to start watching these from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Yes.
they're just that good.
Yes.
They're really, really good.
They really are.
And there was this one line, but I have to mention this one line towards the end where Hermione turns to Harry
Mm.
and she says something to the effect of, things are not ever going to be the same again, are they?
Yeah. Yeah. It
And
was
he
very
looks at her.
emotional.
Yeah, he looks at her. He goes, "No," and it's wow. I mean, it was very powerful.
Yeah.
And hats off. It was fun. It was goofy, but not stupid, not silly. The
Not at all.
the teeny bopper high school drama stuff was not annoying whatsoever.
It
Uh,
wasn't. It really wasn't.
yeah, and when they can do that, because Hermione, when she starts crying at the ball, when she stood up by not stood up by what's this Weasley.
Oh, well,
Uh,
yeah, because he was gonna ask her, but only because, it was a last resort.
right.
She was hurt.
And yeah. And typically you would just chuck that to, oh God, that's just some overly dramatic teenager shit. But not in this case. You're actually drawn into it and you feel for her.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So now really quick.
Yeah.
David Tennant again
He is freaking awesome.
as Barty Crouch Jr.
Yes.
Fuck. I'm watching this movie saying, whoa. He's following me, this guy.
Yep, yeah.
We had,
This
yeah,
is
we
the
just
third movie, right?
Yeah, no, the second that I just
Third.
previously, what was it? No, it was Fright Night, the remake.
Okay.
This one, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm like, this dude's following me.
Yes.
But he was great. He was a really good. Even though you get very little screen time with him, but when he's on there, he was damn good.
I love him. He's awesome.
Yeah, it makes me want to watch some of the Doctor Who stuff.
You know what? The Doctor Who season that he's in is my favorite. Once they took him out, I stopped watching.
Yeah, I heard it's kind of. Some people are talking about that it's kind of sucky now.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, it's a good show, but I hate getting attached to a character and then they take him out and it's like I got to get used to somebody else now and
Yeah. Now, they unfortunately had to recast Dumbledore.
Yep.
And this would be this actor's second appearance. And I forgot the name of the actor, something Harrison, Harrison something or something Harrison.
Yeah, because he was in the first two movies.
Yeah,
The
and
original.
and he was an amazing Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And so that was quite an undertaking for Michael Gambon, who took over the part.
To be honest, I really didn't notice until somebody pointed it out to me. Oh yeah, that Dumbledore. It's a second Dumbledore. I'm like, what?
Yeah, which is great because it's the way they structured his first appearance and his second. It's they try to do what's not distracting. He's there. That's Dumbledore, and you go, that's not. Yeah, it's Dumbledore.
Exactly. I never questioned it.
And he was great. He was cool.
Mhm.
He was known actually, Michael Gambon, when he was doing these films. He would wear his street clothes underneath the flimsy costume so he could stay comfortable.
Oh, nice.
And he was so chill. He would keep a pack of cigarettes tucked into his socks, under the costume, so he can have a smoke between takes. I mean, they say he was pretty cool and he did a really good job.
He did. He really did.
One thing that I was blown away. Yeah, there's a shit ton of CGI in this movie.
But you really don't. You see it. I'm gonna be a nerd. I see it as magic. It's
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
appropriate.
Well, it works because the story and the characters are so strong
Mhm.
that it's not the CGI dragon that takes center stage. It's Harry.
Exactly.
It's Hermione. It's Weasley. They take center stage because they're just such strong, lovable, amazing characters that are written so strong.
Yes. Not to mention there was one CGI character that stole the hearts of everybody, and that was Dobby, the house
Well,
elf.
yeah, I'm
No,
gonna be honest.
no,
No,
uh,
annoying.
oh my god, I can't believe you.
Dobby's dead. Fuck. Good.
No, oh my god, no. I booger cried when Dobby died.
I was like, God, now we can go on with a normal movie.
No, oh no. He was so
No.
sweet.
Dobby. No, I found him annoying. I mean, he was kind of like,
no, don't
don't
compare
the
him. No,
Jar Jar Binks.
he was not like Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, he was the Jar Jar Binks.
Oh,
He's a
dude.
Mr.
No.
Dobby. God.
No, man, Dobby was awesome, man. He was cool.
I tell you, I'm going to get a lot of shit for this because everyone
Yes,
I've
you
talked to, they love Dobby and they, so they're going to pretty much tar and feather me for that. But overall, I mean, I love the films. How's that?
Okay.
But one thing that was cool is that the dragons, for the most part in this, they were CGI, but they actually did build a full-size dragon on the set that can
Oh,
it can blow real fire.
that is freaking awesome.
Yeah, and it was partially built from what they call a basilisk puppet that was seen in Chamber of
Oh, the
Secrets.
basilisk.
Yeah, the basilisk, that guy. Well, they use a lot of that to build the dragon for this, and fuck, it was amazing.
Damn, I can. Oh, wow. Do they still have this thing up somewhere?
No, I doubt it. A lot of times they tear a lot of these props and sets down. And
Damn.
now, another interesting thing about this is that this was not directed by Chris Columbus, who gave us such great films like Home Alone and Adventures in Babysitting.
Mhm.
He did not direct this one. He directed the first two, I think,
Oh,
or maybe even the first three.
okay.
Now check this out. He received like $10 million to direct, Chris Columbus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Newell jumps in on part 4, and he only takes $1 million.
Wow, that's a hell of a pay cut.
But he took points off the back end from the profits.
Oh,
And so he made a shit ton of money. He made well over $10 million just from profits.
good for him because he did a great job.
Yeah. And I mean, he was amazing. They had a couple directors come back a couple times in this series, but for the most part, they had different directors. But that was a good idea because each film gets darker and darker and
It
darker.
does. It really does.
In fact, that's also notable if you could probably go on YouTube and find a video
Mhm.
of the Warner Brothers logo for each of these films, starting from part 1, and each logo gets darker and more creepier.
Yeah, I think especially I want to say it was the Half-Blood Prince. That's when it really gets dark.
Yeah. So having different directors, I think, was a good idea on this. So now let's check out the box office numbers on this.
Okay.
All right. So the budget at the time on this bad boy was $150 million, which is about $248 million today.
God damn.
So this was not a cheap movie to make.
No.
So let's see what it did at the box office. It made about $896 million,
Oh, nice.
which is about $1.4 billion in today's dollars.
My God, that is crazy.
So Mike Newell, who took points on the back end for profits, he got a nice set of paychecks from that.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, all these films did really great box office, and I don't think, like we said earlier, I don't think there was one that was complete shit.
No.
I mean, you can go, like I said, the one we talked about. What was it?
Deathly Hollows Part 1.
Deathly Hollows. The part 1 was it lacked a lot, but it wasn't a shit movie. It just wasn't. It wasn't on the same level as the rest.
If anything, it developed. It set the stage for the second part.
Right, which is what we really wanted,
Mhm.
and no Dobby. So let's see.
Wrong.
So let's check out some of the reviews and reception on this. The New York Daily News, they praised the film for being both for its humor and its dark tone and how it balanced it out,
Mhm.
which is true. It had a nice balance, and it really worked out. When it was cute and funny, it was. When it was dark, it was really dark.
Mhm.
And so audience surveyed by CinemaScore, they give us an A right out the door.
Oh wow.
Yeah. IMDb, it's at a 7.7. Metacritic, 81%. Rotten Tomatoes, their critic score is 88% with an audience score of 74. And Letterboxd, 3.8 stars out of 5.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So it did really, really, really well. So, sequels overall, I mean, this movie was 8 films in total.
Yeah.
And again, all great films. I'd highly recommend a nice binge watch of all these films.
I just might do this this weekend actually.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what it's rainy and snowy out there where you're at, so it's
It's
perfect.
rainy. It's rainy, yeah. And you know what? This movie is like the perfect snack movie. I don't know if you noticed, but since the movie started, these kids are always eating like all kinds of like yummy shit oh
Yeah.
my god, all the candy, all the ham. I'm like, good lord.
Now you know what's a good snack movie?
Hmm.
Terrifier.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Oh
Yeah,
no.
no, but yeah, you're right. It is a very cozy kind of film, and it's always fun to go back to.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's go with our ratings on this. You go first.
Okay,
So
so
we're gonna rate this
okay.
on a scale of 1 to 10 magic wands.
1 to 10 magic wands. Well, I mean, I'm a huge Potter fan. Like I said, I read all the books more than once, and very accurate. They very true to the books. Love the hell out of them. I could watch it over and over and over. I'm gonna give this uh 9 wands.
Ooh, that's pretty high. That's cool. All right, and
Wands.
well warranted, definitely. I thought it was the perfect setup for the final act of the series. It
Mhm.
was fun. It was dark, very heartfelt, and really, it was even tragic. I mean, even Edward from Twilight, who gets killed in this, I almost cried. I
That
mean,
was sad. My
it
boy.
oh geez, that sequence where the father comes down from the stands and he's like, "My son." I'm like, "Oh no,
Yes, he's like
oh."
my boy.
Which, by the way, what's the actor's name? Pattinson,
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. He's been because they killed off his character, of course, in this one.
Yeah,
He was quoted as saying he'd rather do another Harry Potter film than another Twilight.
I would too. Shit, he got his heart broken in Twilight.
Oh God, he almost had his career broken with that piece of shit.
Jesus Christ, man! And I heard
Oh
she went cray cray too.
yeah, yeah. That's why. I mean, you don't see her pop up anywhere in film. I
Yeah,
mean, she kind of lost it. But I mean, it's good to see that Patterson is still working. I mean, he's the new Batman, and I think he did a pretty decent job.
I think so
With the,
too.
yeah. All right. So, what do you say we move on to our next film?
Okie dokie.
Okay. So next up, Space Cars, Tarzan Cars,
Mm,
and Family.
mm.
All right, Dom. What's next?
No matter how fast you are,
I am not to be compared to you.
no one outruns their past.
I am more easy, you trying your best to become me.
And mine just caught up to me.
Been a long time, Dom.
So we're up against a master thief, assassin, high performance driver. Who is he?
Dom and the crew must take on an international terrorist who turns out to be Dom and Mia's estranged brother. Dun, dun, dun. The movie we're talking about is F9, The Fast Saga from 2021, directed by Justin Lin, and it stars Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez. Okay, now let's tackle this one here.
First off, shout out to our Boricua sister,
Michelle Rodriguez.
She was
She's
awesome.
always awesome. Yeah, she's always awesome in film, and but God, oh no. So by the way, we forgot to properly label this one. This is the worst of the Fast and Furious series.
I mean, all you have to do is just say Fast and the Furious. I mean, people would know. It's the one.
yeah,
I mean, seriously, I mean, I watched the first one, which I thought was pretty cool. It dealt with street racing and, this guy, he was an undercover cop infiltrating, the race scene. I thought that was really cool. Acting was, but I thought it was cool. How
yeah, and
the
it was
hell did they go from that?
street racers to international secret agents.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, that's a super stretch. I mean, oh God. Well, again, the first one is really, really good, even though it is pretty much a carbon copy of another film, Point Break, with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. You got these sports guys who pretty much do their sport on one hand and they do crimes on the other hand.
Right.
And so you get an infiltration of an agent to infiltrate, but he becomes friendly with them and he starts to adapt their lifestyle and can't take them down because he becomes one of them. So it has the same dynamics as Point Break, but they did a good job with the original.
Yeah, but then they just went a totally different direction. I want to
Oh,
say
God.
after Tokyo.
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, oh, man.
Yeah, no, they just went off a tangent. I mean, they kind of worked in where they are recruited by a shadow government organization like spies and all that shit. And oh no, it got ridiculous. But you know what? They were fun to a point. You know, you go, yeah, they're over the top, they're fun, and you kind of buy into it. But then they just got stupid.
Yeah, you know, there's a limit, and they did not see a limit. They just wanted to outdo themselves, you know, over and over. I mean, the stunts.
I mean, really ridiculous. And that's the thing is that I think what started to bring, for me personally, what started to bring the series down was that they started to take themselves a little too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And try to be like, I don't know, James Bond in a Mission Impossible series. I mean, you know, there's scenes in this one where they're like, they put the name, you know, they have the title credit on the screen of what country they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fucking Mission Impossible. No, this is a piece of shit.
And how the hell are they able to freaking travel to all these places?
Well, they work for the government now.
God damn, man.
They're secret agents. But you know, you got some of the dialogue is just god awful when they're trying to bring Dom back into the fold, and they're like, no, you know, you got to get this woman, you know, I mean, this bad guy, and one of them goes, she's the woman who killed the mother of your child.
You want to? You're expecting something like dun dun dun.
Yeah, exactly. or when Dom confronts his brother, he goes, no one outruns their past, and yours just caught up to you. Oh God. Oh God. I mean, I wanted to laugh out loud. In fact, I fucking laughed out loud when I first saw the film. Yeah, they just try to take themselves too seriously and get intense. And
it comes off as funny as hell. And it's funny because those moments where they try to be all dramatic is funny as hell, but when they're trying to be funny, it comes out ridiculous and corny.
Yeah, and then they try to convolute the plot with you know, doing the flashbacks when Dom and his brother, which is played by John Cena. Oh God. Oh God.
I can't stand John Cena.
Oh no, he's you know, and but these flashbacks and the history is so boring, and it just, I mean, it really does interrupt whatever momentum this film manages to put together.
Yeah.
And you know, you're like, okay, this is stupid. I'm getting into it. Oh, fucking flashback. Now you got to start over and start to try to like this piece of shit again.
No, what I found funny as hell was the fact that they try to pull off John Cena as to being the baby brother of Vin Diesel when you could clearly see this fucker is way older than Vin.
Yeah.
Oh God, man.
No, it was ridiculous. I mean, and then of course the big dramatic moment, Han returns.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know, like I don't give a shit at this point.
You know, yeah, there were so many, you know, like, you know, cameos. Oh my God, this person's here. I'm like, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that I guess if you're a hardcore fan of these films, but you know, you'll buy into it, and good for you. If you enjoy these films, more power to you. I just, you know, I mean, and then, okay, it's a piece of shit, in my opinion, okay?
It's a piece of shit.
2 hours, 45 freaking minutes.
That was torture.
Oh, I'm trying to sit there. When does this thing end? When does this infernal existence come to an end?
Yeah. Harry Potter was about the same amount of time too. And for me, that movie went fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but you know, now to its credit, it did have some fun, you know, like some of these straightforward action sequences were pretty good, you know, but you know,
the bridge.
Oh God, the bridge. So there's this scene where it's a rope bridge, a wooden rope bridge, and it comes apart. Meanwhile, one of our heroes is in like in a doom buggy or some shit like that, and He's on the bridge, and the bridge starts to collapse behind him, and he's speeding up, and the bridge collapses, and he makes it. Yeah,
Defying the law.
physics.
Yeah, they make a comment about physics too.
Yeah, they should talk, really, And how about this one when Letty, played by our Boricua sister,
Thank you
when
for
she's
thank you for saying that name correctly.
yes, Michelle Rodriguez.
No, Letty.
Oh yeah, Letty. Yeah, they say Letty do what, But God, but she's on the motorcycle and she gets hit or something, and she flies off the motorcycle, and she's flying through the air, and Dom sees it, and he spins his car around and goes towards her, and she lands perfectly on the hood of his car,
Softly on the hood.
softly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, softly. I mean, it was perfect, right? Or how about after the bridge collapses?
That's the one that got me right there.
Oh God! So basically, the bridge is gone, and Letty and Dom, they're in their car. Which remind me, I'm gonna get back to this whole car thing. Okay, they're going towards the cliff, and she's like, "There's no bridge," and he doesn't say anything, right? And he puts his finger on the NOS, right, the little booster, and he gets ready. Then he hits the booster, and he flies towards the bridge. He turns a little bit, hits the cable that was once holding the bridge. It hooks onto the front of the car, and the car goes swinging off the fucking cliff like Tarzan. And it swings around, and then it lands where, it flips and it lands, and it's still fucking, oh God. I'm thinking, look, I understand we working with suspension of disbelief, but don't push it. I mean,
they really think that their viewers are stupid.
Yeah, I mean, or they think that this is what they want to see. Now let's get back to these cars. This takes place, that whole sequence, where, in South America somewhere?
Somewhere, yeah.
Somewhere out there. There's jungles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's jungle terrain. There's dirt roads with potholes and so forth, right? So what's he driving? A Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
That thing would have bottomed out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, of course, people can say, well, we can explain that because they properly made those cars so they can, no, shut up. And then John Cena, he's driving a Mustang and he's going through the jungle like nothing.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
No, and do you remember what happens with that car off of the cliff?
Oh, God. Okay. So here's the setup. Toretto is chasing him, right? And they're going towards the cliff. And Cena, who's driving the Mustang, flies off the cliff, and he's floating there. He's flying. You're like, oh shit, he fucking killed himself, or he's gonna have a giant, I don't know, parachute. Here comes a supersonic super jet, flies right over and picks him up and takes off like a little baby eagle.
I had to rewind that shit. I'm like, did I just see what I thought I just saw?
I'm sitting there, and I totally forgot about that scene, right? I'm watching it. I'm like, and I caught myself, what the fuck was that?
And you know how that was possible?
Oh, that's right. It was a magnet, right?
It was a fucking magnet.
Oh God. Yeah. That makes it better. Yeah. But what about, okay, now here is the apex of the brilliance of this film. So within the plot, the bad guy sends some sort of satellite into outer space that's supposed to do what? I don't know. I don't care. I stopped caring. But so this satellite is about to launch some kind of virus or something. It's ticking down. So they figure out a plan. How do we get to the satellite? It's not like NASA's going to loan us a space shuttle. What do we do? They have a rigged up 1988 Pontiac Fiero. They convert it into a spaceship. They piggyback it on, I think it was a C-130 or something, and they launch it into outer fucking space. A Pontiac Fiero, people.
There's a fucking car in space.
Oh God.
No, and then the suits that they wear.
Oh, diving suits. Those big old helmet diving suits and rubber gloves with duct tape.
Yep. Yeah. You have to think, like I said, that was the point where they pointed out, physics and science and shit. I'm like, how is that fucking car supposed to protect you from all the radiation in space?
Right. And then, So what do they do? It's ticking down. It's about to launch whatever it's supposed to do, right? So Tyrese and who else? I forgot the other guy's name, the other actor. They're like, what do we do? Let's just do it. So they ram the satellite with this Pontiac Fiero, which and to destroy, and they survive. This freaking car is made of fiberglass and and duct tape, and it survives. Oh no, my bad. The windshield is cracked a little bit.
Oh my dear Lord.
And of course, the outer pressure, inner pressure, that's not going to have a problem with the cracked glass and all.
There's no science there.
No, not at all. I mean, that was just the worst.
God.
And of course, and one of the biggest gripes in this film, and if there is one, right?
Right.
I have to say it's Tyrese Gibson. The man was annoying from frame 1 to frame end.
How the hell did he become the comedic person in oh God, it was overdone.
Yeah, he was horrible. I mean, he has all the quote unquote funny lines. No, I tried. He was really bad. But again, I do have to say, some credit. There was some action scenes that were kind of fun, some cool stunts, and it had a fast pace. It's a fast movie, but it was really a trying experience to get through this film.
It was really hard.
Yeah, Tyrese Gibson. I hope I never see him. I mean, not that I say I hope he never makes another film. He is an actor, and I'm sure he's a nice guy.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, and I wish him all the best. But I personally do not ever want to see him in a film again. He can make films. I just won't watch them.
Especially if it's one of the Fast and Furious movies.
Right. Oh, God. And, there is another one coming.
I know.
Yeah. Fast X.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, talking about Tyrese Gibson, back in 2017, he stated that he would not be in this movie that we're discussing in such great words, that he wouldn't do it if The Rock were in it, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, because he was in one of them, wasn't he?
Yeah, which he was actually pretty damn good in the ones that he did.
He's The Rock, man.
Yeah. Well, the two didn't get along.
Oh.
And Tyrese said he refused to work with him. And when Johnson, The Rock, he announced that he would pass on the movie, Gibson said, okay, I'll do the film.
God.
And Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, he chose not to return, of course, but he went on ahead and did the spinoff, which was Hobbs and Shaw.
Right.
Which was actually, yeah. Have you seen it?
No, but I think that would be actually watchable compared to this crap.
Yeah, and it is retarded. It is. I'm sorry, Sammy, that's politically incorrect. Fuck it, I don't care. But it was really bad, but it was fun. It had some ridiculous moments in it, but I think you have Jason Statham, and The Rock, great personalities, and they look like they're having fun, and they don't take themselves too seriously.
No, they're cool.
Yeah. Now, one thing that's interesting, another aspect of this film. Now, this is a car film, all right? They're supposed to be car films, right?
Right.
They're supposed to be car savvy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know their cars because it's a car movie, Fast and Furious, racing cars.
Yeah.
Okay, Jack Toretto, the dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
In his final race before he goes kaplunk and he explodes into a shish kebab, right? That takes place in 1989, that whole sequence.
Right.
However, the entire field is comprised of like Chevy Monte Carlos and Pontiac Grand Prix that were from the late 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, dude, I didn't know.
So they couldn't. Yeah, so they couldn't even get that right. Come on, it's a car movie. At least get the fucking cars right. I mean, not that I'm a stickler for details like that, but
no, you gotta do your homework. If you're gonna do a movie, do it right.
Yeah, and in my opinion, they didn't do well. I mean, a good job. I mean, but it did. A lot of people liked it. I don't know. I mean, so the budget at the time was about $225 million, which is about $260 million today. It's only a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Box office was about 726, which is about $836 million.
Wow.
So it made money. unfortunately, because that means we're going to get more of these so-called.
Bastards.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd rather watch that if I had to over a modern day Marvel movie.
I just won't watch either one.
Now, the question I have for you
Mm.
is: it better or worse than Mac and Me?
I'm gonna say right off the bat, it's better than Mac and Me. Mac and Me is still the worst ever.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a plus for this movie.
It
I
is.
have to agree. It is better than Mac and Me, although that wheelchair sequence is priceless.
I could watch that over and over.
Oh, that is some funny shit. Okay, so let's go into the reception of this film, the reviews and scores. The wrap. They summarize the film by writing that basically physics, gravities, and logic in general have long since been thrown out the window, but the jolts of pleasure keep coming on and on. So he liked it.
God.
Yeah. Audience surveyed coming out for cinema score screening gave it a B plus.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they must have been high or something. IMDb, however, it is currently sitting at a 5.2. Metacritic, 58%. Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score, 59%. Now, here we go. Here's where all that $836 million went. Audience score for Rotten Tomatoes, 82%.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's certified fresh. Well, to each their own.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we're in the minority, so fuck it.
I'm glad it brought somebody joy. I really am.
Yeah.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Right. And Letterboxd, 2.3 out of 5. So it was a bomb with critics, but audiences loved it. And you know what? Fuck it. It's about the audiences at the end of the day.
Exactly. It brought joy to people. It did its job.
Yeah, exactly. And whereas it was ridiculous, it was original, a little too original, but
yeah,
it had they pleased me. So it was. I think it's I'm just done watching them. That's it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. So in the sequels and overall, it's like too many. Way too many, and we still got one more of these fuckers coming out.
I cannot believe that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, "Oh, I can't wait to go see this one."
No, I'm good. If I do go see that, I'll take you with me.
Oh, why would you want to do that? That's fucked up. Don't do that to me. No, man, that's torture.
It's serious.
You buying the popcorn?
I'll buy popcorn.
I might go.
Okay.
All right. So let's get our ratings on this. I found it was ridiculous, over the top. Could be fun if it did. Could have been fun if it didn't take itself too serious. And I think that's where it just got stupid. The dialogue, the plot or lack thereof, was pretty dismal, and it had really no redeeming qualities other than, or it didn't overall. So for me, I'm going to give this 4 out of 10 mufflers.
Okay.
4 out of 10 mufflers.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, there's this. My brain turned itself off after like the first 30 minutes. I think it's like a survival instinct.
It's self-preservation.
It really was. Oh God, it was hard to watch. It really was. It wasn't smart. It was just ridiculous. I did have fun laughing at the craziness, the spaceship car, freaking the car jumping off of the what is that?
Oh, the rope bridge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was funny. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Overall, just I did not enjoy it at all. So I am going to give it 5 mufflers because it made me laugh. It made me laugh.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough. I mean, there's the redeeming quality right there. It was unintentionally funny.
Yeah, there you go.
So now let's go to some recommendations of other films that were within franchises that I think really were one of the best within a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I have to go with, and we were going to do this film, but it was already covered, and we did it in an earlier episode on the pod. So we decided not to go with it. But Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Love that movie.
Yeah,
Loved it.
definitely the best sequel within that franchise.
Sean Connery just, oh my God. He's the best.
Oh, it was amazing. Amazing. And definitely one that you go, I mean, because to me, I mean, as much as I loved Temple of Doom, I really did, but I think Temple of Doom kind of it kind of went away from the formula
It,
and the
it definitely had a different flavor.
yeah, definitely. Not that it was bad. I mean, again, I really enjoyed it, but it was a lot darker, more sinister.
Yeah.
And with this one, with the Last Crusade, he basically goes back to the best bad guy he can, the evil Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so definitely, it's worth the, it's definitely the best in its franchise. Unless I don't know, Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
No, that was horrible.
that-
No, you know what will redeem Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull? If you haven't seen this yet, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
I haven't seen that either. I'm afraid. Ever since I saw the Crystal Skull, I really, really wanted to like the Crystal Skull. I really did.
Oh yeah, so did I. But trust me, you watch Dial of Destiny and you go, that those aliens in the Crystal Skull was not that bad. For real.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Another one that I'd recommend, again, within the franchise, was The Empire Strikes Back.
That was a great. Although my favorite is Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. It definitely is really good too, as well. Although I found it a little cartoony, a little kind of goofy, but it was still beautiful. It was still a fun film.
Well, yeah, you know what? How old was I? I was a kid, so throwing some cute little fuzzy little teddy bear Ewoks and
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. Now another one is, now I know you haven't watched this series. It was the Star Trek series, the original with William Shatner, and definitely the best within that series was Star Trek 4, the Voyage Home.
Is that the one with the orcas?
Yes,
I saw that one.
that one was great.
Mhm.
And it definitely was the best one of the whole saga. I mean, Star Trek 2 was fantastic, Star Trek 3, but the fourth one was the one that really was fantastic. It's really great. So, I mean, I recommend the entire saga, but that was definitely one of the best.
I'm not much of a Trekkie, but I did like that one. Voyage Home was definitely my favorite Star Trek movie.
Definitely. So yeah, so those are the films we recommend that if you're gonna watch franchises, those are some of the best ones within those franchises. So I mean, overall, I mean, I love a good franchise, but sometimes a franchise it's just overkill. It's just it overstays its welcome.
It does, and at this point, I feel that the Fast and Furious franchise, it's just milking it, and that cow is just about dry.
Yeah, and then you also have, I mean, like another franchise that's lasted, God, since 1960 is the James Bond franchise.
But you know what though, that doesn't seem to get old though.
Yeah, but I saw the last one, which was No Time to Die.
Right.
And it's not a bad film. They're all great films, all the new ones. But for several reasons, I think James Bond just needs to stop being made. I don't know, but spoiler for everybody. If you don't want to hear this, close your ears, turn off the pod, whatever. Or don't turn on the pod, just turn off the volume. Fast forward or something. But in the last James Bond film, James Bond actually dies.
Oh, no way.
Oh, I spoiled it for you, huh?
I wasn't gonna watch it.
Okay. Yeah, he actually dies at the end of the last film, and I think they should just leave it at that. But there's already talk about they're casting a new James Bond, and
Who was the last one? Was it
Daniel Craig.
I love Daniel Craig.
I think he did a great job, and I agree. It was time for him to bow out, but I mean, I think they should just let it die on its own. I mean, but I don't know.
Wow, that's a trip. I had no idea.
Yeah. And yet there's some that can continue, some franchises that can just continue for a long time. I mean, but there is a shelf life. And,
Yeah.
enough is enough before you just get bored. I mean, I think you can kind of equate this. I know it's one of your favorite shows, and it's a TV show, it's not a film, is
Uh,
The Walking Dead.
oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Supernatural.
Oh, no.
I could actually go for a couple of more seasons of Supernatural, to be honest.
Yeah, that I could do that too. But like The Walking Dead, to me, after season 6 or 7, it got mundane, it got boring. But they kept now they have like 3 spin-off shows,
They do.
and
I'm actually kind of curious. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I'm like, I'll pass. I mean, and one of the factors that killed The Walking Dead, and not for me personally, was when they killed Glenn and his eyeball pops out of his head.
My God, man, I have never been so shocked. I couldn't sleep that night.
It was pretty traumatic.
It really was.
But I'm like, oh shit, this show, it just got brutal. But
Yeah.
but then it just started to take a different direction. It got a little melodramatic, a little soap opera-ish, and a lot of fans started to drop off. A lot of ratings were no longer on the phenomenal level it once was. But it
Right.
continues, and they keep bringing. You want more? No, we don't. We'll give you more.
Force feeding.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think that let's go ahead and wrap this one up. What do you say?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So next week we will be talking one of our favorite subjects, films that have been lost to time.
Mm.
And we got a couple of doozies. So tune in and find out what they are. And that'll be a lot of fun. Awesome. So thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Please help to support the pod by giving us a 5-star rating. Leave us a good review, or another way to support us is simply to subscribe and or follow us on Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Audible, Boomplay, or wherever you get your podcast fix. Also, please don't forget to drop by our Facebook group. Leave us a message. Let us know how we're doing. Check us out on TikTok. And check out our YouTube channel as well, where we have all our current episodes on there as well. Don't forget, big news, we have a merchandise store. So please check out our merchandise store. A lot of cool shit on there. You've checked them out, right, Daisy?
I have. They're pretty freaking awesome.
Yes, we have stuff like t-shirts, hoodies, sports bags, coffee mugs, and so much more. So
The shot glass.
oh yeah, the Filmjoe shot glass. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So check it out, and maybe you can get yourself a sports bag or a hoodie or something. So all these links, they're in the notes below of the episode on whatever platform you're listening to us on. So please check them out and tell us what you think. You can also contact us directly at thefilmjoepod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. So Daisy,
Yes.
do you have a final thought of the day?
I'm at a loss, to be honest. I think my brain is still on shutdown mode after watching Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so we'll give you a pass.
Thank you.
All right. So with that being said, I'm Joe.
I'm Daisy.
And this is the Film Joe podcast, where film talk happens.